Is this recording now?
Not yet. Do control enter. Hopefully.
Okay.
Start getting recorded.
Okay. What we're trying, Rich is trying to record some of these so people can then take them home if they want, or get on the internet and look at them later and see what we're doing. And that what we're going to do for parts of the class, I'm going to try to have the show and tell at the beginning, like we did tonight. You know, Rich showed off his creations and whatnot. We showed some of the pictures that what the class has taken. And I tell you that the leaves are still beautiful out there, but they are falling quick.
They are.
If you, that's sort of your homework assignment, is let's try to get some fall pictures and that for the next time. And it's a good idea to try to do these things. The homework assignment seems to be popular among the group, and that where none of us are perfect. We all mess up, as you guys will see. I mess up a lot. Those who have been here before know I mess up a lot. And we help each other, and that's important. And just like Rich's thing there, I never thought of that. Bobby used, she does snowflakes in the wintertime.
My son used
And
this with those big clamps.
big paper clamps.
No, they were
Oh,
C-clamps. They were the,
okay, spring-loaded clamps.
well, you just squeeze them.
Yeah,
And that's how he
the
fastens.
Irwin bar clamps.
Yeah.
It's like a cardboard she puts down.
These things are just, they're about this long. You just like, well,
To come up to-
anyway, he clamped the little table on top.
Yeah.
This is my dad.
But did you see this? That,
Yeah, he would like that.
yeah. And he's probably ingenious enough to make something like that too.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. And I enjoy making things. My son called me the other day and said, "Dad, I'm in Granville at a garage sale, and there's this enlarger with Chromica filters." I said, "Oh, Chromica filters, I know that's a color enlarger. It's either got to be an Omega or a Vesta." I said, "How much does he want for it?" Because I've been looking for a vertical stand to make a copy stand. And he says it's $20. I says, "Buy it."
Get your wallet out.
Get your wallet out. He brought it home. And hopefully later on this winter, Ron and I will get together and we're going to play around with it. I'm manufacturing a couple slide things. And I actually took the dichroic filter. It's an Omega. It's a small Omega for a 1 1/4 by 5/8 inch. The perfect format. Or I'm sorry, it's 2 1/4 by 1 5/8. Perfect format, that 8x10 size negative. And I took the dichroic filter off of it. You could flip it upside down, and now I'll be able to shoot slides with it or negatives with it, and be able to change the color, correct the color, everything with it. So when I worked with Owens, I had one that was called an optical printer made by Sickles, and it was about $10,000 for the thing. Took up a whole great big desk about this big and stood about yay high. Had a 450 foot magazine of film, 35 millimeter film in it. And so I like doing things, making things myself, and a lot of us do in the group and share with each other, and that makes it fun. But what I'm going to do at the latter part of the meetings is to try to go through Crayola Paint Shop, and Mary Frances says, "I would like you to go through every step of how to do Crayola Paint Shop." But I think it's also good for the rest of you. If there's anything else you guys want to do, please tell me. I will be more than happy to, because I try to do stuff that you guys want to do. And that, so if you have suggestions, please write me, let me know. You get a letter once a month from me, and you can write back to that address and let me know what you are interested in. Please give me some detail. Just don't say, I want to learn how to touch up pictures. And when you touch up a picture, that can mean just changing the contrast or getting down and doing a lot to it. And what I'll usually try to do is show you a couple different ways. There are several. GIMP makes a software that's free. Isn't it GIMP?
GIMP,
Yeah.
they just came out with 2.8. And it's very much like Photoshop. You know, the old GIMP, you had like 40 windows. You had everything was in a different window, where how Photoshop, all your tools are docked. Well, GIMP has now gone to, you have a choice. You can either have it docked or undocked. And in the docked mode, GIMP, all the tools are like on the size like Photoshop, very similar to what Photoshop is.
I was on that, and they were talking about, they have a magazine now.
Yes, they have a magazine.
How do you get that? I guess,
It's an e-magazine.
e-magazine.
You can go to the website, you can download it.
Okay.
Um,
Have you looked at it, or
Yes,
is it good?
Yeah,
Pretty good.
I looked at it.
It's got some how-to things in it, and it's got some variety of different things. It's a PDF file format. I can't remember. I think the site's on our
Yeah,
share site.
Yeah, share site, yeah.
I think that where you can go get this. And
Bixler had a hook up to it.
Yeah.
That's when I looked at it.
yeah,
Yeah. So I was wondering, I thought, boy, anybody that puts a little magazine out with something that might be helpful.
and I think there's some tutorials for it too through GIMP's site. And I think on YouTube you'll find some video tutorials on it also.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, we're going to go into the editor. Down along the side is all these little icons that indicate certain things. It always makes it easier to demo the software if you bring a picture into it.
Can we turn the overhead lights on?
You want the overhead lights on?
This one. Back here? Yeah, that's better.
You can, we'll grab a picture. I didn't tell it to do that. Let's see.
Wait till Mary Frances gets here.
What's this?
You should wait till Mary Frances gets here.
We'll just bring in one of these. Then the hand up here is sort of self-explanatory. If you hold down the left button, you can move the picture around, change the size of it, whatever you want. And on here, you can see you can move it around. This comes in handy when you enlarge it and you want to move it around. You'll use this feature a good bit. Everything, if you work on a photograph, you want to work on it as large as possible, particularly if you're drawing lines around it or want to change the sky. You know, if I was removing the sky from this, I would grab the tool from over here on one of these icons and draw it along this area and remove it. Then when you finalize it, that thing becomes very small. See how small that area is? Enlarge it again. I'm better off working very close to the object.
It's another reason why you want to take, when you take your pictures, take them at the highest
Resolution.
resolution, that's quality, so that you can zoom way in and make these adjustments or edits to the pixels.
Now, a lot of us shoot what we call RAW. It's RAW format rather than a JPEG. JPEG are used, it has fewer bits of information than a RAW format. RAW format is basically everything that your camera can do. It's leaving that data. Am I correct, Ron?
Correct. Yeah, it's just saving all the information about that particular image.
And when we're talking digital, we mean everything. The colors, the resolution, everything. And Ron and I use that a lot, and some of the other ones. However, when you go to send it to Walgreens to get it processed, they don't like it. So now you got to take a piece of software or do one or two at a time or batch file in Corel Paint Shop Pro and turn it over into a JPEG once you're through with it.
Wait, you say they don't like it, so they won't,
You can't transmit it.
They
Okay.
can't, they can't read
okay.
They can't read it.
They're
But what about, what's that other place out there?
I don't know about Cord,
Cord,
I
yeah.
don't know anybody that would print raw.
raw film,
Okay. I mean, I
because you can
understand.
change it so much.
Okay.
In the old negative days, acetate days, you put it, each roll of film has got a different emulsion number. And we always said there was some guy at Kodak that was taking a cigarette and dropping ashes in it, and mixing it up and making the batch a little bit different. And you could take the same negative that you made 5 or 6 prints with, have to change your paper to a different box with a different emulsion number. You made the picture that turned out blue, maybe, or red, or green, when you had a perfect one over here. The only thing that changes is the emulsion number. And each piece of, each box of paper had to be calibrated in, and it took hours to do. Now, you go to a drugstore, and it's automated just like the cans. You've got the paper fed through it, it prints it, and I still feel that even 15 cents a print is a lot cheaper than doing it yourself on the printer. The time you get the cost of the printer, the ink, and the paper, and then to boot, it probably will not be as permanent as the drugstore, or as sharp as the drugstore. I use Walgreens because my daughter-in-law is a pharmacist with Walgreens, and I got to keep all her happy side. Yes, Gene?
Will they do a double-sided, like for a Christmas card?
No, I don't think they do a double-sided. I don't think they do any double-sided prints.
Do you have to go to like Staples or someplace and have double-sided then?
I used to do Christmas things at work on lunchtime for myself. I got a Christmas card, I liked the saying in it, copied that, made an ortho negative, which is just black or white, there's no intermediate tones. And then I put a photograph of the family on it or something like that. It was a double print, and that was the way. The drugstores still do not have the way. They do murals, and that they do a lot of different things. They do books. Bob had a book that he was showing us, and you can get them printed. And Shutterfly does,
That's just what I was
Does it?
looking at here.
and how much do you,
There was a free offer a few weeks ago from Shutterfly. You got a 8-inch square book free. So it was basically a $30 value. only thing I had to pay was the shipping on it, and I had 20 pictures in it, which was just the number of pages where I stayed, kept the three book, and it really came out really nice. And I think I paid for the $30 book, I paid $7.80 to have it shipped to me. But it was a free offer that every once in a while Shutterfly will send you an email saying, you know, like right now, I think the last one was like a special card. You can create a card. A couple weeks ago was a free offer to get so many prints free. So it depends on it. But you can order from Shutterfly. You can have the banners made. You can have posters made. You can have mouse pads made, printed by them. You can even have a fleece blanket made with your picture on the blanket. There's a fleece blanket and a woven blanket they'll do for you too. So there's a lot of projects on there too that can Shutterfly.
So it's basically whatever the customer wants is now available. And the prices of them are not bad. I've seen 8x10 photos at some of the stores for as low as $3 a piece. Owens used to pay $30 for some 8x10s, high quality prints. And that, but you can see this photograph here. It's not very high resolution. You can start seeing the pixelizations, which is the dots or the blocks. You can see it even more as I bring it up. And that's what makes up the photograph. But this comes in handy to move the photograph around to get the different areas of it that you are working on. There's some software that you can actually remove out shadows if you didn't want to remove the shadow, if you want to remove the shadows and whatnot. The next one, and you see there's a little inverted arrow here pointing down, and you can get to a magnifier. And all I'm doing is left clicking the mouse button. Yes?
Dave, can I add something to the hand?
Yeah.
Go to the select, the arrow there. Okay. Now hold down the space bar, and that works with a lot of different photo apps. It temporarily switches to the hand, so you don't have to keep clicking on the hand and then clicking, let it out, and you're right back to the select tool. So it's just a quick way to switch to the hand tool if it's only temporary.
And it does it in any of the icons.
It should do it in most of them.
What do you press down again?
Space.
Space bar.
Space bar, and then drag.
And please, if you have they call these shortcuts or hotkeys, please speak up and give it out to the rest of us, because
that works in full-blown Photoshop Elements, and some other. I'm not sure about GIMP. I think it works in GIMP that way also, but that one I'm not sure.
And here's hotkeys also. They show an A. That means if you hit the A key, it should come to the pan or the hand. Let's see if it does. Yeah, see, it switched it to the hand. And the other hotkey for that particular one was a zoom, which was a Z. If I hit the Z key, it gives me the Z. Those are called hotkeys. If you're doing something where you have to switch back and forth a lot, those come in very handy. There's the shortcuts to it, like Ron showed with the hit the space bar.
How did you get those hotkeys to show up?
Okay, I just went over here. You can see that there's this little down arrow. And then when I clicked on it, it opened up the secondary window. It then shows if you have the pick tool, it's the K key. If you want to do the move tool, it is the M key.
I never noticed
And they are not on everything, but here's another one. There isn't anything for that one. This one, you can see that there's a C key for cloning. And if I do the cloning, if I'm out here, I got the magnifier. If I hit the right-hand key, it reduces it. If I hit the left-hand mouse button, it increases it. And let's see, what did it say for the clone tool?
C.
C. If I go to the C key, there's the clone tool. And I have to click something. And it will then,
You have a very large brush.
so I got a very large brush. And do a Control Z will get rid of everything, but only one step at a time. And I'll hit Control, hold the Control key down, and hit the Z key. You can see it going back. Okay, to the very beginning. Now the brush thing, if you hold the Alt key down, this is the shortcut for it. You can change the size of the brush.
it. Dave,
Yeah.
question.
No, just another comment. If you go to Help and Keyboard Map, right there, those are all the file commands and what the hotkeys are. And if you go up there to that category, since you're in the edit mode now, there in the top box, right there, go to Edit. That gives you the hotkeys for
And
the edit screen.
another nice thing about it, there's an icon up here that says print.
Yeah.
So you can print those out on your printer at home. That's a good thing for a printer. It doesn't require too much ink. It's black. You can buy that fairly cheap. And you can print them out, and then you can have them in front of you so you can recall at any time. Thank you, Ron. But we can change the size up here. You can see the size. It says it's a 170 pixels. So we're going to go down to about 50, and there it is. Still way too large. If I can control it. I think it's the Alt key. Press down, and I'm just taking the mouse and sliding it up. I'm holding the Alt key down, and you can see I'm changing the size of it. Holding the left mouse button down and sliding it up. You can see now I'm sliding it back towards me. Now I'm sliding it forward. I can find the circle that works for me. I sort of like that one. And I can sit here and start cloning.
Clone tool works real well if you scanned in an older picture and it has a crack in it or a tear, you can take it, the clone, and go close to where the crack or tear is, and you can actually then clone the area around it on top of the crack and get rid of the tear and cracking. Or sometimes it works too, like you have dust flecks on a picture. You can
Rich,
clone it.
before you clearing up the scratches, there's a scratch remover tool that does a pretty good job too. So before you clone the scratches, you should run that. Because I've had real good luck with them.
Some of the software, like Photoshop, doesn't have one to clear up the scratches, so a lot of times you've got to use the clone tool.
But as you see, the peak behind us that's stretching that shadow out is missing the section in the center. So, but that's what the clone tool will do for you. But your move tool, it does exactly what the hand does and everything else. This one comes in handy. Magic wand tool. if you have this whole sky area, basically one color is going to come along, and you can see it sort of drew a line across there. And what I'll do a lot of times, you can set up the sensitivity or the color that it will, the gradation that it will cover.
Hold the shift key down and click up there in the part where it hasn't selected it yet.
Okay, hold the shift key down, do what, Rich?
Go up here into the sky, where
Darker blue.
the darker blue, hold the shift key down now, push it again. See, it added that part to your selection.
Now I can then take the delete key and everything up there will be deleted. Now I can add a different sky. I can take one of these sunset ones that we had and add that sky in behind there to make it a beautiful cloud sky when it was a sort of just a dull bluish gray sky.
We can do it this winter, right?
Right.
Gray skies here.
And if you make a mistake, the nice thing about it, you can hit the Control-Z key again, and it'll take you back through every step, right up to the very beginning.
And by using the capture tool, the magic wand, you can remove that sky, put a sunset behind it, put another photograph behind it, so you can take and remove parts of one photograph, put another, layer it on top of another photograph and make something appear to be in the picture from behind it.
Can't believe anything, can you?
Can you, say you would outline that little rock right there?
Yeah.
Okay, but let's say in our photo, that rock is dark. So if you outline that, is there any way you can just make that rock lighter?
Yes.
Not the whole picture?
Yes, you would have to draw around it.
Which draw, how do you choose whether it's a selection or freehand or whatever?
Well, you could take this thing right here and draw.
Which one's that?
Right now it's not in freehand mode. This is just the lasso. Just doing it real quick. And up here you can see, up in here you can see it's set for edge seeking. It's seeking the edge of the information. And if
And each time he clicks the mouse, it sets a point.
I'm just very quickly going around it. Okay, that's selected now.
You can tell by the marching ants.
Okay.
Okay, then I should be able to go up here to adjust. And let's say I want to do brightness and contrast. We'll move it out of the way so we can see. We'll make it darker. Hey, too dark.
Yeah.
But you can see if you had a dark, too dark,
Oh, okay.
so you can make it a little lighter.
So if you had a group of people, the same thing, if somebody's face was too dark, you could circle their face and
Right.
lighten them in the picture?
Right.
Okay.
It takes patience, but
Oh, I have plenty of vision.
glad
And
you have anything.
And again, you want to enlarge it and work at it as close as you possibly can.
Yeah, okay.
I had a friend, their daughter got married out in California. They're on a walkway, wooden walkway with rails behind it, and they got a bridal party up there, but they forgot to take a picture of the bride and the groom separately. And she calls me, she's crying almost, and says, "Dave, can you fix this picture?" She gave it to me, and I took out all the people, added shadows back into the image for where the people would normally, have shadows. Added the handrail back in behind them, so it looked like they were just standing along by the ocean rolling in the back. Put the ocean in, had to do all that because people were blocking the ocean. And it was amazing, they thoroughly loved it, but it took hours doing that, correcting, adding boards to the plank and everything else.
Okay, I gotta go.
And it's just trying to find something that matches up close to it, to do it.
Did you raise the fight? Did you hear about the two wedding groups in this hotel started fighting?
I had one photograph I took a long time ago. I knew it was the dad. It was a Polish wedding up in Toledo. And they last for 24 hours. And everyone's 2 sheets to the wind. And this older man, who was the dad of the bride, had this woman on his lap, and she's rubbing his forehead. I thought, okay, must be wife. Click, took a picture. Bride's mother came to pick up the pictures. She says, destroy that negative. We don't know who in the world she was. Okay. But, you know, I wish I had a retouching back in those days.
Well, I find if I'm doing a lot of work like that, I have a Wacom tablet with a pen. It gives me a little more control than the mouse.
That's one more thing to buy.
It allows me then to go in
Yeah,
and a little easier than
sure, than that thing.
the mouse.
Yeah,
Sometimes your mouse doesn't have the control.
oh, definitely.
Mouse is all right. It's your hand that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those tablets, depending on what size you buy, run anywhere from about $70 on up. And
I said we're going to do a lot of.
if you do, you got to do.
Yeah,
It's like,
there's a way you can adjust your mouse too, isn't
yeah,
there?
you can go and adjust the mouse.
Might kill your mouse. Lee.
Just merely go into
Short cord.
to the start icon, left click on it, go to control panel, and somewhere in here you'll find a little mouse.
There you
Left click on it. And now you can do different pointers, the whole 9 yards. There's also someplace you could make it go slower, faster, or a contrail behind it, like it. And I think, okay, here's point settings. I think this is what you want. Whoops. And this is for the sensitivity, how you click the mouse. With my MS, a lot of times my finger will go boom, boom. So you don't want it set real fast. In other words, right now, if I go, see, I clicked real fast and it didn't do it. If I go, click, click, now it worked.
I don't know if that would make a difference if you're trying to do that or not.
There is some, on some of it, there is, isn't there, Ron, something where you can set up the pixels for the mouse?
I know some mice are made at higher resolutions than
Yeah, the pointer speed, I mean, you can set up pointer speed right there. Next
Pointer options.
pointer options, right there on the pointer speed there. And
See, that's how slow it moves.
mouse, yeah,
is that going
I'm
to
moving it across here.
more precisely the pixels that
it doesn't, yeah, 'cause it moves. Yeah, I think it would,
Now it's going to take me an hour to get down here.
yeah.
Now it's gonna take me an hour to go over here.
Yeah. but-
Maybe worth the $70 for the tablet.
Yeah.
And
you're right.
there, I don't know what the enhanced pointer precision, you check that box up there under the speed, right up.
Above.
Up there, I don't know what that does.
That might allow you to be more precise on which pixel you.
Yeah, I don't know if that would.
It seems to be, seems to work pretty good.
If you're really flush with the bucks, you can actually get a touchpad that is a monitor. And so you're drawing right on this, you put it out in front of you, you're drawing right on the image.
Go get that
A
camera.
couple $1,000.
Oh, my gosh.
There are, Krill also makes a drawing program that how much pressure you put on the pen is how dark it paints the thing. John, my son, uses that a lot.
Most of your tablets will allow you to adjust your sensitivity, like erasing, or like if you're using like a brush stroke on the pen, the harder you press it has like a spray can, so you're in the spray can mode. The harder you press on the pen on the tablet, the more the spray, the harder it sprays. Or like in racing, there's different levels. You can set your pen up for different levels of erasing, so the harder you press, the more it erases.
If you're really serious about it,
No.
Rocca makes a 24-inch high definition touch monitor
Don't ask.
pad for only $36.99, and the decimal point is at the end.
This is $120 for a Wacom. Now I have a 6x9 Wacom tablet. They do make a 4x6, I believe.
Let's see, I'm on their site here, so.
I went with the 6x6.
Is yours a bamboo or?
Bamboo. I've had mine for a while. Wacom also.
But all the new ones,
12
the pens are wireless on all the new ones, which makes it nice. However, you can lose the pen very easily that way. At least with the old ones that had a wire on, you could always have all the wires pulled
In
back
fact,
to the end.
on the my Wacom, there's nothing, there must be a magnet or something in the pen to show where it is, because there's no battery in it or anything. I don't bring battery in it or anything. And there's a built-in place on the tablet that the pen slide goes into, so I can put it in here.
Does it have a nylon tip on it?
Yes.
Okay, that's the sensitivity is in the pad itself. The pen is just, but there should be some control buttons on the pen.
There's a switch for like left and right clicks, mouse clicks.
Mouse clicks and whatnot. And that's neat that it's not battery. Most of the ones I've seen, of course I haven't seen the new ones, are battery in the pen that has old hearing aid batteries.
If there is, I've never changed it.
Well, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and power down your PCs, and when you're done powering both PCs at the table, I'd like you to take and shut off the power strips at the end.
David, you want me to remove these folders off the desktop?
No, you don't need to remove the folders. We'll probably use them later on.
Okay.
At least I'll have pictures there, you know. You just go down and start. So left hand corner.